Okay, this is more the long form video. We have an official Nissan part right there. We're looking at it right here. This is the new Rev Up version oil pump Nissan part. And we also have the gallery gasket that's getting done while we're in there. And so basically we're addressing the weakness and where the oil pressure has an issue. Due to that, we're doing the PCV valve. I already mentioned that in another video. This and then new seals and all that stuff, right? So basically, let's walk over now that we could see that beautiful pump. Let's just walk over to the engine and take a look. Now we're looking at the front of the engine right here, and basically this cover is going to come off. And so this is a full refresh for the VQ35DE Rev Up. And what we're doing here is we're going to come in and we're going to do the timing chain tensioner on the left side, as I understand it, and you have the water pump and you have the oil pump that all happens inside, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to do a full refresh here, and then the gallery gasket in there with the updated Allen head bolts. And so this is all getting done in one swoop to make it make sense in terms of the work that's being done for the hours and the labor. And that's basically it. Everything that's wrong with the Z, that's kind of the video, even though this is the major job that's getting done. Everything that's wrong with the Z, I'm trying to think. Okay, the electrical issue with the battery and fixing the terminal connectors and all that, so we did that. The brakes are cooked. The rotors are, they have pitting or whatever, and wear, grooves and all that. They're old and the pads are worn down, so the brakes are shot. No jokes. They work, but I need to redo that. But I think I'm going to see if I can get the use out of them before I do them, since they're not worn down all the way. And so everything wrong is all the maintenance, right? Spark plugs, needs new belts, air filter was dirty. I mean, like everything, right? Coolant is dirty. Everything wrong. There, it is a little break there in the plastic for the shroud for the fan. Power steering fluid, want to get that changed out, and then brake fluid, want to get that changed out. So it needed full maintenance. So the car was driven and enjoyed, but it's time to do everything, and then so I can drive it and enjoy it. Really, what it comes down to. This is before I can do the upgrades and updates and beautification, the cosmetic enhancements I want to do, make it look nice and all this stuff. First I got to get the mechanicals. I want to be able to drive it and enjoy it, and then we'll get the other stuff going. Trying to think about everything wrong with the Z. Everything that's wrong is the suspension, right? Because you have the Tane lowering springs and you have the KIB shocks, and what ends up happening is it's too low, and so in the front end, when the suspension drops because you hit a bump or whatever, or the tire goes down, basically you're losing traction, and so it's lowered too much. I think it's messing with the suspension geometry. And again, the suspension geometry is bad when you look at the back. Okay, so what's happening is when you lower the car, I think you're having the negative camber. And with the negative camber, you're only getting grip on the inside of the tire. Okay, if you can imagine that, with the tires leaning in toward the center of the car. Theoretically good for handling, but when you have a torquey car, you put it in first gear and you let the clutch out and you want to get on the gas, you're not getting the traction that you should be getting. you need to have a pretty flat profile there, if that's the right terminology. You want a flat contact patch. You want the contact patch to be larger because the tire is flat on the ground, okay? And so that's the problem that the car has. The car has a grip problem, and so this is just a consequence of lowering it too much, the suspension geometry being wrong, and whatever. So the suspension needs to be addressed. Everything wrong with the Z. Radiator cap was bad. We bought a new one from Nissan. I think it was dirty and it was bad. Just got old. So glad I got that and did that. And trying to think about, besides the cosmetic stuff, we know the paint condition. We have issues with that and all that. But other than that, I dare say that's what's wrong with the Z. I still think it's a good platform, and we're gonna get this job done. So I'm eager to get it into the shop now. Now I got the part shipped to me as you just saw it. So now I want to call them tomorrow, tell them I would like to schedule to have my car worked on. So that's the flow, what's getting done, giving you an update. Everything that's wrong, also the oil cooler. See that down there? Oil cooler line has some kind of leak or seepage. So that's going on. I did tell my mechanic that. So that should be pretty straightforward to fix. But I don't like oil leaving the system. I don't like it dripping down. I don't like the hose damp with the oil, right? And it's getting on the bumper right now, and it looks ugly. So all those factors, I want to address it. That's the video. Make sure you subscribe so you get you're following me for the new videos that come from the Z. I'll be posting more. This has been the daily updates while we get this intensity done on this car, getting somewhere with it. Like or dislike so that we get engagement, so other people can see the video and I can do my thing here. And throw a comment, much appreciated. Have a beautiful, blessed day. We'll see you soon in another video.